Alrighty. Hi, everyone. So, our team worked on the artist project with Oreo Jones to prepare for his upcoming EP release. Oreo's an Indianapolis based genre blurring artist. He's the co founder of the rap project Bless and founder of the hip hop festival Crease. He'll be releasing a solo EP this year called Before It All Feels Similar, which leans into shoegazy and alternative sounds. While reviewing Oreo's audience analytics, we noticed that it skews majority male between the ages of 25 to 34. We also noticed that his primary market is in the US, with Indianapolis as his primary city. Through chart metrics, we found that Oreo's top cities for Spotify listeners is Indianapolis. However, we have seen a 10% decrease in his Indianapolis based listeners over the past 3 months, likely because he wasn't solo touring and playing his original music publicly. Oreo has a solid
We
Oreo has a solid foundation for his website branding and musical styles. So, our goal with this project is to determine marketing and community building methods to increase streams and re engage fans in his primary city so he has a solidified fan base and marketing tactics in place prior to his EP drop.
we wanted to compare Oreo to a slightly more established Indianapolis-based band, Wishy. Wishy has a similar audience demographic and they make indie alternative music similar to Oreo's upcoming project. By analyzing Wishy's growth in Indianapolis, we can determine some successful marketing and fan engagement tactics for his album. On Luminate, we saw significant spikes in Wish's streams in Indianapolis after engaging with the community, typically averaging 2.1 thousand increase in Indianapolis-based streams after hosting local activations. Based on this, Oreo's album marketing and community management plans should engage with the local Indianapolis community to increase streams in his primary market.
For our marketing plan, our goal was for Oreo to engage with the local Indianapolis community. We designed content ideas such as a Oreo Was Here series, clips showcasing his process creating music, and a fan activation where listeners can share film-like photos of their favorite places in their hometown, which can also be used as the Spotify canvas for the focus track. We want to increase short form post frequency and leverage cross posting between Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, as well as start posting on other platforms such as TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. The release timeline for the EP is projected in late 2026 with a waterfall release strategy, allowing plenty of opportunity to build momentum with fan activations and events. Additionally, reaching out to tastemakers and curators for music playlisting opportunities. We want to implement digital community building tactics to engage Oreo's existing fans, expand his reach, and convert new or passive listeners into active fans. We created a mailing list for Oreo in Squarespace and added a sign up to his website. We also started an Instagram broadcast channel. Oreo can use these outlets to build a direct relationship with his most engaged fans, provide them with exclusive merch and content drops, and leverage fans through announcements to share, stream, and pre-save his music.
We will also host a series of in-person community building activations to engage with his Indianapolis-based fans, such as a pop-up performance with a local record store, a tiny desk-style performance for the web series Music in Transit, a fan meetup in Spade Park, which we will promote on Posh VIP to collect emails and numbers for push notifications and his mailing list, and a film photography listening party for the EP. We can track engagement through email signups, views, engagements, and the amount of people who attend these in-person activations. We can also create content for his socials at these events. Our financial plan is also pretty straightforward. We want to keep our expenses low by being creative with our content and leveraging Oreo's existing connections for these in-person activations. Any budget that we have available will be for professional assets and meta ads to promote the EP, considering that Instagram and Facebook are his largest platforms. Our revenue would primarily come from ticket sales, merch, and physical media sales, and we would funnel this revenue into funding ads, giveaways, production costs, travel, and a contingency fund as well. Thank you very much, and please let us know if you have any questions.
Excellent. We lost your slides there for a bit, but you were able to relay great information anyway, so that's okay. So I'm going to bring our judges up to ask some questions. Judges,
Oops.
Judges, you're going to be you can ask questions at random, so I'm going to pick someone. So let's start with Melina. Do you have a question for our team?
Hi, with me.
Yes.
Hear me, guys. I don't know if you can hear me, see me.
We can hear you. We can see you.
Everyone, thank you for the presentation. Yeah, I was just mainly interested, sort of to the last point you made, wanting to spend ad money on Instagram and Facebook, seeing that those are the biggest platforms. I'd love to hear what your plan is to further build TikTok, given that it's the biggest and most important music and audience discovery platform. Yeah, just both from a content perspective and I guess owned media perspective, as well as if you're considering any ad spend and or influencer outreach.
Definitely. Luca, do you want to kick us off with some of those content ideas for TikTok specifically?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we definitely wanted to leverage like cross-posting, just because, that kind of doubles the like exposure across the different platforms, and it's being resourceful with the resources that we have. Since we do have like less, like a tighter budget on the artist project, we wanted to utilize as much of the resources that we had within the community. And so, one of the content ideas we had was like an Oreo Was Here series where, he can go around in the local like Indianapolis community and film himself and talk about like what inspires, like if the place inspires like a song or a feeling, and kind of share that to his socials. That could be a really great series to do, as well as like just more general clips. I looked at his Instagram and I didn't see too many clips of like the creative process. So I think letting fans in on that will really help bridge the gap and connect them further. And having like a fan activation, where like users can submit like their own like sort of film, like photography vibe style content and use that in the Spotify canvas. That's also like a great way to double up and make fans feel like they're a part of the community, also growing that presence on TikTok, since the primary sort of platform is Instagram.
Great, thank you.
And let's have Deb. A question from you.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
My main question is, first of all, I feel like every single box is ticked on the op side. You definitely have like a super thorough game plan to propel momentum across all the channels, and the research has been done in terms of demographics. My question really, especially this day and age, I think everybody has sort of access to best practices and can tick those boxes. I'm curious, like in terms of how we, I think, stand out as an artist, like thinking a little bit deeper about the narrative and the artist narrative, and like kind of like plugging into like what makes Oreo Jones like stand out as a unique story amongst the noise, and what's going to make him sort of stand out head and shoulders above sort of other artists doing the best practices. How are you going to, what's that unique kind of storyline that digs a little bit deeper into capturing people's curiosity?
Definitely. I think one aspect of it is Oreo has a more like hip hop style background, and his upcoming project, it incorporates a lot more elements of shoegaze and alternative music. It reminds me a lot of music from the 90s. And I think he described this upcoming project in an interesting way. He sort of called it a collage of himself, a collage of different sounds. And he also has like a background in doing film photography as well. So I think we can kind of have this unique narrative of like his photography background along with this project being like a collage of different parts of himself. And yeah, I think that definitely creates like a very unique narrative as far as this project goes.
Wonderful. Thank you. So thank you very much to Team 7. Thank you to our judges. I'm going to move you guys backstage for the next presentation.